Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Full-time MMA?
MMA.
Nothing
Yeah.
else?
My life, man, yeah.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
And what is up, full-time family? Just a quick intro to this video because I recorded it earlier. What you're about to watch is a piece of full-time MMA in the morning, and I'm going to be going over what my thoughts on UFC 225 doing under 150,000 pay-per-view buys. Now this was, I'll let you see my reaction, but to me this was very depressing because on paper UFC 225, as you can see, was one of the most, actually it is 100% the most stacked card of the year so far, and it had abysmal pay-per-view buys. That's even including CM Punk, Holly Holm on the card, 2 title fights, all of Colby Covington's trash talk. You had a lot of potential on this card, even on the Fight Pass and early Fox Sports prelims, but still abysmal pay-per-view numbers. So as far as what does this mean, I'm just gonna let you guys hear this. Forward Thinking said, yo, I'm down for a quick hangout to talk about UFC 225's low buys. That's something we can talk about really fast. I didn't want to touch on that because, for one, right now it's only been reported by the LA Times, I believe, and second, I just don't understand that shit. I don't want to fucking sound stupid, but UFC 225 is low pay-per-view buys. Alright, let's pull that up real fast before we get out of here. UFC 225. Low pay-per-view buys. But they're saying like 150,000? This doesn't make any sense. Was there another event this night? This was the most stacked card of the fucking year. But it didn't have a Conor McGregor or a Ronda Rousey or a John Jones. Are you fucking telling me we have to have a Conor McGregor, a John Jones, or a Ronda Rousey to sell any pay-per-views? Because this is really fucking stupid. Like, I really, this disappoints me as a UFC fan, as an MMA fan. This is fucking disheartening because this was one of the most stacked fucking cards of the year from top to bottom, and like no one gives a fuck. Like, clearly the rest of the world is missing out on this sport because this is all of our favorite. This is the greatest sport in the fucking planet, MMA. It's moving to ESPN now. Maybe that's going to help, but for UFC 225 to do 150,000 pay-per-views, it doesn't make sense, for one, and for two, it's disheartening because we can pull up the fucking, I'm literally on the inside a little depressed looking at these reports. Like, seriously. Like, a feeling of depression is inside right now. Like, I don't know what the fuck to think about this anymore. And I know I'm just a prisoner at the moment, but I just, for UFC 225 to sell, not even crack 200,000 pay-per-views, and that's with a fucking shit show like CM Punk on there. Like, you would think the whole fucking reason you're bringing CM Punk through is because he's going to sell like 200,000 pay-per-views himself. What? We don't even crack 200,000? If you take the CM Punk fight off of that card should sell more than this. Like, just fucking seriously. Fucking, alright. I'm kind of disgusted with this. Like, I don't know, man. What the fuck? Look at this card, bro. Like, all the early Fight Pass prelims. You got Benavidez versus Pettis, Guida versus Oliveira, Evans versus Smith. Those are all three literally good fights. I don't care who you are. You can be a casual fan and these are fucking good fights. Ricardo Lamas versus Bektik, Gadea versus Sparza, Overeem versus Blades. These fucking 6 fights right here are a Fox Sports 1 card, including main and co-main. Like, literally, these fucking cards right here, these fights right here are solid. Now when you add the pay-per-view and you put Arlovsky on there, Tai Tuivasa still an up-and-comer, not as big of a star, big of a name. You put Megan Anderson versus Holly Holm on there, you got fucking Holly. Colby Covington's on there. Clearly, you ain't selling, buddy. Not yet. Clearly, Colby's not selling yet. Because you couldn't even help CM Punk push this shit to 200,000. Whitaker, he clearly ain't selling. To have all of these fucking fighters on this one card and sell under 200,000 pay-per-views is very fucking concerning for me. It's disheartening and all of the above. You even had CM Punk take a pay-per-view spot over Overeem. Remember what Dana said? Whenever Overeem starts selling as many pay-per-views as CM Punk, we'll talk. Clearly CM ain't fucking selling like that. This should have been close to 1 million fucking pay-per-view buys. On paper. Maybe not 1 million. Maybe, okay, John Jones versus DC, 800,000 with 3 title fights. But somewhere at 500,000. 500,000 fucking pay-per-view. Are you kidding me? Holly Holm, 2 title fights. You got Covington, who's been making waves. CM Punk's on the card. Overeem on paper, this card was insane. So for this to tank on pay-per-views, I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know what the fuck that means. That shit is crazy. Steakophobic said, I bought it. Bro, this is a card I didn't because I'm broke. I couldn't buy Conor McGregor versus DS3 tomorrow. But I would, like, if it's worth it, I'll tell you I would have bought it. This is a card I would have bought in a heartbeat. Compared to every single pay-per-view this year, this is not even close to the best. I would have bought this in a heartbeat. But it looks like nobody, I don't know. I'm literally, see, he said, yanking my damn, me too, bought. This card right here, bro, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe people haven't woke up this year to the UFC, the casual fan. There should be more hardcore fans than 150,000 that bought this card. This is confusing to me. Where's the report? Like, is this a legit report? It says, despite a strong lineup, early reports suggest UFC 220. And maybe this has something to do with it, and I could be completely wrong, but like, this card has so many aspects where it could have done well. Does somebody know this? Do Australian fans have to buy pay-per-views? Or is it one of the situations where they get it on like BT Sports, so it's free, or wherever they get it? Because if Australian fans have to buy pay-per-views, you would think you sold 150,000 just in fucking Australia. You got Tai Tuivasa, Megan Anderson, and Robert Whitaker, all 3 Australian fighters on one pay-per-view. It's not like you're getting any of that shit for free. So if you're an Australian MMA fan, you're buying the pay-per-view literally just to support Tuivasa, Anderson, and Whitaker. They ain't even got 150,000? Bro, that shit is madness. Cholo Wangster in the building. His message, I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna look. Usually I like to look at their deleted messages, but I know my boys are on it. The motherfucking full-time family hit your ass in the head with the motherfucking wrench. Bow! Bow! Out of there. Out of there. Arpit Singh said UFC is dying, and that's what's unfortunate, man. How to permanently remove a sad troll? I don't know that yet. Maybe I can like block him from the channel. I think I might be able to do that. He was timed out for 300 seconds. I'll check it out afterward. But yo, that might be a thing, man. It literally what it's looking at to me, and I don't think the UFC's dying. I don't know why. I can't believe the UFC is dying. And it's not just because they moved to ESPN, but literally, there's a lot more casual fans today. Like now, there's literally a motherfucker's grandma. Even if she's clearly not a fan, she doesn't keep up with the sport day to day. But a motherfucker's grandma knows who Conor McGregor is. They know who Ronda Rousey is. You know, my mom couldn't tell you who fucking Holly Holm was, but she's heard the name Conor McGregor. There's a lot of people who are casual as fuck. I'm not even talking about like the microwave casual. The microwave was like, who's that Tuivasa guy? I kind of want to watch his fight too. I'm not even talking about that kind of casual. I'm talking about people that don't know shit about mixed martial arts. they at least know what the UFC is today. You know, they know at least one name. So I feel like the sport's kind of been growing. Maybe not though with these pay-per-view numbers, because this doesn't make sense. I don't even think there was like a boxing fight on that night. You know, sometimes the UFC competes with like UFC 224, Nunes versus Pennington. They were competing with a big boxing fight. I think they were competing with Lomachenko. Here, who are you guys competing with? Mayweather ain't fighting. Triple G ain't fighting. Who the fuck's fighting? Jeff Horn or somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's competing with the UFC? Were they competing maybe the finals? Was that on this night? I don't know what's up with these, but these UFC 225 numbers are fucking scary, bro. These are scary. Leon Doubleson said, well, you said it right there, full time. Those said fighters are no longer active in the company and haven't been for a while now. Exactly. That's what I wanted to touch on. Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, John... Like, damn, man, that makes it feel like this is really just a superstar-driven league. And this isn't even a star-driven league, it looks like. Maybe that's why the UFC was so, amped to cut Yair Rodriguez. Like, bro, if you're not a Conor McGregor or a Ronda Rousey, you ain't doing shit. You ain't selling pay-per-views or nothing. Because this card is stacked. You even got the CM Punk shit show on this joint, on the pay-per-view. You got 3 Australian fighters on here. I thought, okay, you know, and this is just the business mind in me thinking, yo, okay, you know, look, people don't even look at it this way. This is just me on some business shit that probably don't matter to the UFC fans. I'm like, okay, you know, as far as selling pay-per-views is concerned, the UFC is smart as fuck. You got like 3 Australian fighters on the pay-per-view, so that really, if you're from the entire continent of Australia, you're probably buying this pay-per-view just to support these fighters. Then you got Colby Covington and Mike Jackson. You know, they're probably all the WWE fans, they probably know who Colby is at this point, so they might fucking buy this shit not only to support CM Punk, but to check out Colby Covington. You got Rafael Dos Anjos, got Brazil on his shoulders. They're probably tuning in to watch Colby lose. Like, I felt like this event was fucking a huge success. It should have been. I felt like you got Brazil watching this joint just to see Colby lose and RDA win. You even got Holly Holm. You know, for the casual fans, the Ronda Rousey killer, you know, a lot of them know who Holly Holm is. So you got Holly Holm here, 3 Australians. You got Brazil tuning in to say fuck Covington and root for RDA. You know, I'm looking at all of this going on. You got the rest of the card fucking stacked. I'm looking at this like this is a fucking success. I didn't even think that this card could bomb. It didn't even cross my mind. And so for this to bomb, that's really fucking scary. It's a scary time for a UFC fan. You know, it's a great time as far as if you're actually a fan. If you actually know what's going on, this shit is amazing right now. A lot of the shit going on is fucking dope. You know, in multiple divisions. It's fun. It's a great time to be an MMA fan. This card was amazing. If you were watching, if you knew what the fuck's going on, this shit is amazing right now. So I don't see how it can just be so much of a dud. UFC 226 is coming up. On paper, that card's not as good as this card. Now, there's Slugfest if you know the sport, but if my fucking brother or someone else just looks at UFC 226, all they know is DC versus Stipe. I mean, they might know Max Holloway. They definitely don't know Brian Ortega. Maybe some casual fans do, but he's just now getting on a lot of people's radar with his win over Frankie Edgar. Other than that, you got Ngannou versus Lewis. But when you're talking about Mike Perry versus Yancy Medeiros, Uriah Hall versus Paulo Costa, Gokhan Saki versus Khalil Roundtree, those for us are all fucking bangers. All those fights, like, that's the night of the Slugfest. UFC 226 is like the night of the Slugfest. It's going to be an amazing night of actual fights. But on paper, that card is not even as good as this one. If you're talking about fucking Overeem versus Blades on the prelims, Gadea versus Esparza, Lamas versus Bektik, Benavidez versus Pettis, like, on paper, all of those are bigger fights. If you're talking about rankings, all of these are bigger fights. number 5 versus number 1, number 6 versus number 3, number 2 versus like number 4, number 11 versus like number 7 right here. There were some serious ranking implications on these fights, as well as what I felt like bigger names of the sport. Like, all hardcore fans know all of these people. Every single hardcore fan knows. If you're a hardcore fan, these are the only 2 fights you might not have known. Mike Santiago versus Dan Ige, and Rashad Coulter versus Chris De La Rocha. But if you're a hardcore fan, you know about Guida versus Oliveira, you know Pettis versus Benavidez, you know Rashad Evans versus Anthony Smith. Literally all of these fights you know about, and you probably care about a lot of them. So to only sell 150,000 pay-per-views for UFC 225 is really concerning, disheartening. I don't even know what to say about that shit, but yeah, it's crazy. And as always, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to join the notification gang, make sure you hit subscribe and also hit the bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to help this channel reach its full potential, consider hitting the PayPal link in the description or going to patreon.com/fulltimemma and becoming a patron. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.